natural beauty, you know. Yeah, no, I never met someone shy until I see your eyes. Still I had to try. Yeah. Oh, yes. Let me get my words right and then approach you. When I treat you like a man is supposed to. You never have to cry. No. I know everyone can relate to when they find a special someone. And she's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind. No, the way she moves to her own beat, she has the qualities of a queen. She's a queen. Ooh, ooh, what a natural beauty. No need no makeup to be a cutie. She's a queen. She's a queen. And when they ask what a woman's made of, she's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah, so royal. And I need her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind until the night that I see her rise. My queen, so sweet. I can see it in her eyes, the way she smiles. Yes, I know the king and queen crown same time. So I never leave your side. Just live with me through trial times. She says she don't mind. Alright, I know good man is hard to find. Cause she telling about that giant line. That's why she has no ties at this time. Yeah, I know many men are trying, but she needs to be more than wine and dine because she's royal, yeah, so royal, and I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so divine. The way she moves to her own beat. She has the qualities of a queen, so supreme. Ooh, ooh, natural beauty. No need no makeup, be a cutie. She's a queen, so supreme. Yeah. And when they ask what a woman's made of, she's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind. No, no, the way she moves to her own beat. She has the qualities of a queen. She's royal, so royal. She don't need no makeup to be a cutie. Okay, have blessed night to everyone who joined the live, and who is coming on the live. Was just playing Tara's Royal. She's royal, and I think all of us women is royal.
And the men, royal, they are king, if they have the kingly role. So, tonight is another night that we have to give God thanks for our blessings. Blessings of life that we cannot purchase. We may try to do so, but fails us. So let us give God thanks for it. It is so many things going on in and around us that are to think, are to really. Good night, Miss Roy. Thank you. Good night and good night again. Um, so many things happening, so many things around us, and it is important to say thank you, Lord, because tonight many of us could be in the position of the people in Morocco, where the earthquake shook and many lost their lives. Recovering um, 229, some 2,229, something about that, and still counting. It could have been in our country, it could have been in many other countries. Many persons could have lost their lives. But again, we give thanks that we are still alive and we pray for those. We can't pray for the dead, we have to pray for the living. So we pray for those that have made it through and maybe hospitalized and so many things. So every time you look around you, there is something that you have to give God thanks for yourself, for your family, even if problem come, because something can happen here. You give him thanks because it could have been worse. And because it is not worse, or worse, like Miss Lou would have said, we have to give him thanks. We thank him for waking us up, taking us out, and bring us back in. If you only have water to drink, give God thanks. Drink the water, be blessed. You will get tea the next day. You will get drinks the next day. He will provide. But upon providing, you have to put yourself in the way in order for it to provide, because nothing comes just so. Once you put your front foot in front, he will make a way for you to get something. Many are in money problem. Money problem is the old thing. Mark of the day. Song of the moment. But give God thanks, because many are in a worse state than we are this tonight. By social media, we can connect with each other. Through social media, we can speak to each other. Many can't tonight. So we need to give God thanks. How did you treat yourself today? Did you give yourself a hug? It is my motto each time when I came on to say to anyone, everyone, love yourself. Look yourself in the mirror this morning and said, good morning. I am happy to see you. I am glad you are here. Give yourself a hug. Pat yourself. Let yourself know that you appreciate yourself at all given time. Because no one can love you as you love yourself. No one will bring love and give to you as you love yourself. And because you love yourself, it is possible that you will be able to love others. But first, love yourself. and do good for yourself. For those that may be mourning, today marks, um, is it an anniversary? Should I say anniversary? I don't even know what to say. I'm lost of wording some of the time. The the day or about this very time of the evening when I was called and said my daughter has passed away. The date, this very date, when my daughter said goodbye to this world. So, I still mourn her loss. She haven't in no problem, but the wound may be healed, but the scars are still there to remind me that in early life, the health system have failed us, failed her, failed friends, failed her co-worker, failed everybody around her. And she had passed. What action did I took? I put it in the court. Yeah. Not saying that what they have awarded the family, we happy and jumped about it. No, because our loved one have taken from us through negligence. So, tonight, many more can say the same thing as I am saying just now. They have lost a daughter, they have lost a son, they have lost a mother, they have lost a father, they have lost a sister, they have lost a brother, a cousin, a friend. But because we hold on unto the unchanging hand of God, He gives us comfort. We know I will never see that face in the land of the living again. But her memory still lives on because I was the one who gave birth to her. And that's my first birth. So therefore, I'll always remember her, how she has been taken away from us. Okay? So is there anyone else out there? Our condolence to those that have passed recently. Condolence to those that are still mourning the loss of their loved one. I understand your pain. I can't feel your pain, but I have a bit of understanding of your pain because I have been there. I have been there. Yes, a treacherous road. He has taken with a young one inside of her, full blown to be born. Yeah. And not even the child they have saved. So they both went. Full blown 9 months baby. Weight of the baby were 9 pounds, and I don't remember how much ounces, but 9 pound much ounces. So tonight, for those that are mourning their loss, mourning those that have gone before, as much as they said you should rejoice when one pass, because they have gone out of the trouble, out of the misery, out of the raise of price, out of can't pay rent, out of shorter job, out of many things. And we should cry when one born, because the one that is coming in do not even have a knowledge of what they are coming to meet upon. And that's the reason why it have said, mourn when one born, because that one is coming into a situation that they have no knowledge of. Everything is there waiting to meet that one, while the other one is gone out of it. But it is hard to rejoice at the death. Very hard. Yeah. Because you remember the good time, you remember the creepy times, you remember everything. So it is hard. Anyhow, is there anyone with birthday? Have yourself a happy birthday. Ask God for long life, and also health is important. Ask for your health, that you have good health to enjoy long life. Many have not really get that opportunity, and sometimes because of lack of how we mistreat ourselves, that is the reason why. Good night again. Right? So many times things have happened. Many times we are okay. Okay. So there are so many things that happen in life. But again, we still live in the hope of our Almighty. Rest in his hand forevermore. My topic tonight, it's a pedagogical. Yeah. And it will be a sort of a mixture of something tonight. It means approaching in teaching. Constructive approach in collaborative approach, reflective, integrative, and inquiry based on the approach. So this word carries so much. Its approaches in teaching. Constructiveness, collaborative, reflective, and integrative. Now, is it only the person that are in the classroom is a teacher? That's my question. Is it only the person that goes to college and back and have 40, 35, 50, 20 children sitting before them? Are they, that's the only person classified as a teacher? Keep those answers. We sometimes think that it's only a collective set of people is a teacher. And I want to disagree. When you have your young child, when you have your baby, a matter of fact, when you are pregnant, and that baby is inside of you, not yet see the light of day. You are teaching that child. So that baby start getting training and teaching from inside of the woman, which is going to be called mother. Whether the woman is in a good state of mind or a bad state of mind, but that carrier of the child is training and teaching that child. Many thought it's only when the child is born you start teaching the child. No. The reflection of you is with that child. Many persons who being pregnant, there is this thing that they said, oh, I feel like I want to orange. And if you don't get the orange, you're going to scratch all over your body. And when that child born, there's a mark on the child. Oh, you know that because when they want the orange, I'm a scratch before the orange come on the child. Yeah. Orange. So the orange mark here, yeah, that is when I was pregnant and I wanted this so much. No, this child has been training. Some persons have to climb the mountain, the tree, walk miles away to go and get the thing that they said they feel for. You feel for it, you don't have it, you don't forget it. You don't push that out of your mind. You let that feelings dominate you. So anywhere, if it's even to go and thief it, you do it. Teaching a child, training the child. Mm-hmm. Sounds funny? It is true. Check it out. You want, you want, and you want, and you want. You don't train yourself that that child will be trained. That, okay, I really feel like I would eat a fish, but I don't have the fish, I don't know where to get it. So you know what? You push it out of your mind. Move on to something else. But many persons, if it's even to steal the things, I have seen people do this. And when they steal it and they eat, they feel, oh yes, we did really want it. Mm-hmm. You really get it? Because guess what? You are bringing that same child in the world. And from a small child, the child wants this and they would cry and get into tantrum and go in all kind of way. And you don't stop it there. Oh, I want this, so I have to give him. No, you don't have to. You don't have to. Mm-hmm. Because what? You trained your child from inside. So we are talking about from the root. We are talking about from this day the seed was planted and how you water and nurture that seed. Because that very seed is going to grow into a tree, a vine. It's going to either be a pumpkin vine, a melon vine. It's going to either turn into a mango tree, a pear tree, but it's going to turn something. When the scripture said, train up the child in the way he or she should grow. And when it's old, it will not depart. It doesn't mean just when the child is being born. No. You start the training from the inside. Healthy thinking, conscious thinking, conscious behavior, conscious speaking, reminding yourself, I am bringing a life in this world that is going to take my footstep. So it's either going to take your footstep or somebody else's footstep, but it's going to take a footstep. So it's not only when the child grow up and you start saying to the child, say bye-bye, say hi, you're going to potty train the child and you're going to do all of this. You start training that child and teaching that child long time ago. But how effective is the approach to the teaching? Because you have to approach this on a level. And the approach must be effective. Right? So you have to think about this, your approach. The father and you have a conversation and you blow your top and you blow your tops until the poor baby stand up stiff in your belly. You quarrel until this poor child. What do you expect to bring out here? What do you expect to bring here? When I was pregnant with my first child, I was a person who loved reading. Believe me, I will sit, most of my reading, I will go in the bathroom when I want to get away from everybody. I go in the bathroom and I sit down and I read every piece of old paper. Every, every, everything that writing is on, I will read. And I read and read. During pregnancy, I was so sick. As sick I come down little like this pen. There was nothing I could kept in my stomach until the day that child was born. And in growing up, I realized that that child took the same pathway of reading. If you have her for your company, you don't have a company. Everything that writing is hand, she would be reading it. It went on until I had one time I had to go to the library. I asked them to stop giving her a book. They said no. Because guess what? When she go with a pile of book and sit down, the house could have been moving. You could have talk until she don't hear you. Because of that child and nobody has ever been in a confrontation. Because she always have her book. And she's always asking some questions. And she always buck up into something where she said, but I didn't know, say, mommy, no, you. Mm-hmm. So you train your child from conception, not only when it is being birthed. Now, we're past that stage and we reach into the schoolroom. All teachers, all persons went to be trained to be a teacher. Train how to take care of the children. Train how you put across your lesson to your children. Train in order to gain the interest of the children. train that these children can respect you. So it's a long training to take care of somebody else's children, to teach somebody else's children, because all of them, 20 of them coming from 20 different homes, 15 of them in the classroom coming from 15 different homes, 15 different parenting, 15 different character you're having before you. So you are being trained how to do this. It's a hard job, because when you think of, you have to be the molder for these children. When you finish at the classroom, they will be going straight back into the home that they are coming from. But how did you get across to them that they themselves can even teach those that they have at home? Making sense? I sent my little girl to school when she started basic school. And this was somebody who I know. We grew up in the same community, and she opened a basic school. And I can tell you, I love the basic school. I will adopt the basic school for the main reason that when you look at a piece and you planted it, you put it in the earth, and that pea is going to grow. When that pea broke out of the earth, you mold it, you do so much things to it for it to come, get strength and to bear. What goes on here? So therefore, you have to take care of the young pea until it reaches to the stage where it can bear. I love, because the ones that reach to high school have to start from down here. And if they are not groomed from down here, when they reach up there, they're out of control. So you train them from down here. Educational wise, everything from down here. So I love them when they're coming up. This is my passion for the younger ones, because mine have to go from there till they reach university and all over the place that they reach. So they have to start from there. And this day in question, my little girl came home with her book with the picture of a cat. She drew, "Oh, mommy, I draw a cat today." No, she didn't say she draw a cat. The picture of the cat and the CAT is under it. So when I said, "Oh, it's a cat," she said, "No, it's a puss." I said, "No, you have CAT right under it, so it's a cat." She said, "No, teacher said a puss." Teachers, if you're listening to me, be careful of what you say to your children in classroom. Teacher said a puss. How could I convince her? I'm not a teacher. Or I'm not a teacher in the classroom. There was nothing I do that could convince that little girl at 3.5 years old that the CAT is cat, because teacher said it's us. Who is being influenced here? Who is the influencer in this? The teacher. Hadn't the teacher approach with the teaching technique in a constructive way, the reflect that comes out wouldn't have. No, in my little bird brains, you are not doing justice to my child. So the following morning, which was a Tuesday morning, I went to a different school and registered her there. And I immediately removed her from that school to a next school. Yeah. Because you are not taking my child on the right pathway. If it's cat, it's cat. This is cat, but it is, people call it puss. If you had said cat in the first place that she wrote cat, she would have understood. Yeah. Some teachers are very damaging to children. And teachers don't feel bad. If it's not you, it's just not you. But I can tell you, some are being damaging to children. I have a taste of basic school teaching too. I did it for some times. And I know what it feels like. I had was to use wisdom in that classroom. Yes. And I jumped back a little bit. How the children, you taught them at home. I was sitting in a basic school for some times because the person for the basic school has gone abroad and left me in charge. It was only one teacher, which was me. And there were a brother and sister in the school, and every known day they brought their break. Everybody brought their break, you know. But these two, this brother and sister, they have their separate lunch bag and their break. 2 pack of cheese tricks are always in their bag. One day, the little girl came crying that the next girl took her break out of her bag and ate her break along with the girl's break. So she ate hers plus the other one. No, sorry. She didn't have her break. Her break was still in her bag, but she ate the other little girl's break. I called her and I said to her, "Bring your bag to me." And she bring it, and I opened it. There were also 2 cheese tricks in her bag. I asked her, "Did you eat Shauna cheese stretch? She said yes. I didn't ask her why. It would be foolish of me asking her why. So I said, okay, no problem. So I said to Shauna, these two are yours, so take them. The little girl took them, to have them for a break. Everything seems to be okay. Classes went on until school was over and all went home. The morning when I turned up at the school, the key for the school left someplace, so I went at the place to collect the key. And the person with the key said to me, there are two women here to you, and they look like it's fight and come for fight. Because one have a piece of stick. I said, okay, no problem. You know Jamaican have no problem. I was in Jamaica then. So I went to open school, gather in my children, start my morning routine as what is supposed to be done. And when I look at the back of the class, the two ladies walked in. One had on a black skirt, an elastic waist skirt, and it was pulled over her breast. I can't remember if I did see any brassiere strap. All I know up to this day, the skirt pulled over her breast. And the next one with a piece of stick in their hand. And of course they at the back and beckoning to me, I said, hold on. I will soon talk to you. I didn't even have on so much weight as I have on now. I was, you know, in a petite state. And these are two ladies like God. So, I finished doing my morning routine with my children, mark the register, and have them at that period. They, I am going to go into my day of the teaching now. So I said, put your head, be quiet, and I entertained the two ladies. One said to me, and I want you to follow me for who hearing and who will watch this live. I want you to follow me quite careful, keenly. The one with the stick said to me, let me call her Jackie. Jackie come home and tell me, say, you give her a break to our next picnic. I said to her, that was what she said? She said, yes. I said to her, who are you? She said, me is the aunt. I said, okay. I said, who are you? I said, I am the mother. I said, okay, step aside, aunt. I want to talk to the mother, not you. And she stepped aside with her piece of stick into her hand. The mother was the one who had her skirt pulled over her breast. Asked her what did her daughter said. And she told me the same thing her daughter said. I said, okay, I won't talk. I will let the children speak. So I called her daughter. And I called up the other young little girl. And she was really bigger than that little girl. She was doing her last year, her last few months, then off to primary school. While the other little girl were still having at least 2 or so years to go. I said, I would like you to tell in front of us, your mother, what happened here yesterday. And that little girl have her put our shoes, digging the concrete and digging the floor with our head down, and she digging the floor. I said, hold up your head. Speak loudly. Let your mother know what happened here yesterday. And she have her head down. She not looking up. She kneading the floor. I said, okay, Shauna, what happened yesterday? Shauna speak what happened. The aunt with the piece of stick jump and say, and that did happen. I said, be quiet, ma'am. Be quiet. Honestly, I'm not talking to an aunt this morning. I am dealing with the child's mother this morning, not you. Calm and collective I am. The mother said, what I know that you tell me? And she reached out her hand. The older child said, let her go. Let loose of her. If you ever put your hand on this child this morning, the police is coming for you. And with every serious bone in me, I would have her locked up. You know why? The display that this child give, this is how she was brought up. So she come with any complaint, anything, and say to the mother, or I don't know if it's mother and father, or it's mother, father, and auntie. I don't know, but it's two women from which one is mother and one is aunt. This child see these displayed before and more than one time. She knows she was wrong. She knew what happened, yet she went home with a story. And what I said, one came with a piece of stick. Everybody came prepared for war. Because for you coming on the street and they were not living close to the school, with your skirt pulled over your breast, you are coming to the school where the child is, and one with a piece of stick. That means you're coming to give the teacher a fine flogging. But they didn't know who they were coming to meet on. Because they thought, I am in no confrontation with nobody. I am doing the right thing. I said, ma'am, you can do all you want with this child when she gets home. But you see, in front of me, in the school and the rest of children I am responsible for, you won't lay a hand on her. When she is out of my care, then have your way. But while in my care, you're going to go turn around. The all that is right out there, it is called a door. Please go through it. And they turned and they left. Their expectation has been perished. Because I so serious. They would be arrested for hitting that child. Because guess what? This is where the teaching and the training came from. This is what you're doing in front of your own child. This is how you're training your own child. That your child can take up a story that is no truth to it. And this is how you came to approach. This is the approach you give with your child in the scenes. Is teaching comes from the person who went to the college, to the university, and came back. That's where it starts? No. It starts from the parent. It starts from your home. The home is your first community. So the teaching starts there. With the trained teacher now, many of them, this word you see up here, that is on, that I put up, many of them do not go by the guideline of this word. It gives you the different segment of this word. Knowledge of teaching. Effect of teaching. Many teachers have children, damaged children in some way or the other, not using this word that they taught them in college, and the effect of it. How you approach the teaching. You have the constructive approach, collaborative approach, reflective and integrative approach. Many don't use that. I gave you one experience with a child, and that very same child met upon a teacher who let you cry. Now she was going to a technical school now. She's out of basic school and now she's in technical. And there was a time when all the girls want to dress into the shoes named ballet. Ballet and white socks. And they think that's their style. So almost every girl in their ballet and white socks, their uniform were blue, box pleat, top making to a type of a tunic, and their white blouse. So of course, their ballet and their white socks, and they look good. They did look good. But this was what they wanted. So almost every parent child had on a ballet and their white socks and their uniform going to school. My daughter was in business class, and this day in question, the teacher for the business class walked in, and she looked at everybody sitting on the decks or on the table, whatever they sit around, and her eyes look on all the girls in their ballet and white socks. This was the approach of the teacher now. Look on her foot. When her mother can't even buy shoes put on her foot because she grown and have picnic like a puss. These were children she's talking to. The way she have picnic, she just little one like puss till they can't even buy leather shoes. Look at my foot, leather shoes I wear. And every child was hurt in the class. Now she came to teach. She came to do her lessons with her children. And the only thing she could have done was start discriminating the children. These were young ladies, 14, 13, 14. And this was a discrimination she go on with. The children all took offense, all girls. The boys were there, but remember, boys not into ballet, they were in their shoe. And all the girls took offense. No class was kept that afternoon. And they all went home with their tears to their parent. All the girls' parents went to the school the following day, except me. I hadn't gone. Whoa. Why is this jumping on? I don't know why I didn't go, which I know, but I didn't go. And they have a meeting. You know, it's not everybody go to have no quiet talk with this teacher. And you know the thing about it, she was one of the VP. So nobody went to have no proper sit down talk with her. Not for what she have done. And that thing caused a row in the school. Upon doing that, my daughter did say she have nothing to do with that class again. At the time, I just purchased all the books that was on the book list that she needed. And I had to put those books aside. And she walked over into Omi, clothing and textile. That class was full, the teacher and myself, and they made space and they took her. Others went to different classes. So I said that to see this. There are times when they damage, real damage other persons, damage children. And we are talking about teaching. Now this word, many do not go by the guideline. Anything come out of your mouth, you just throw it out there. They're all human. You didn't think of it that way. You don't discriminate them. And you call that discrimination. Poodles. God bless those that train, and in spite of the hardness of it, they stood it out and they do it professionally and they do it positively. God bless. Some have nothing. They forget this word once they went through the college door and they forget this word and what goes with. Look down on no one. And I said before, the teaching start from conception. So when 10 of them, 20, 30, 40, coming from different home setting, different parenting, and coming to you, you have to be wise. This is where wisdom, knowledge, and understanding plus discretion came in. Sometimes you have to just sit and go back into the recollective mood and try to find out how are you going to deal with this. One of my other girls going to primary school. After lunchtime, teacher said, put your heads on the decks. And her head was on the decks until she fell asleep. When the teacher said, all head rise, her head was down. The teacher did not go over to her to find out why her head was still on the decks. If she's sleeping, if she's sick, if something happened to her, she did not do that. She went over with her strap and she starts strapping this child, and her head raised up. The strap catch her right under her eye. Oh yes. The strap, you see the impression under her eye. God have it that the tip of the belt did not get into the eye. It's right under the eyelid. She came up, she came home. And let me tell you, sometimes I don't know if I think straight. In spite I should be thinking straight. I didn't quarrel. You think I quarreled? No. I didn't quarrel. I said to her, okay, I will deal with it. Because honestly, I don't want to be saying anything in front of her about the teacher. I don't want to have nothing to say in front of her about the teacher. So I said to her, okay, I will deal with it. It was swollen. I used warm water. I used camphorated oil, anointed. I think I will have to take her to the doctor to see what further damage may be done there. And I get her ready, send her off to school, and I get ready afterward. And I just turn up into the classroom. And believe me, when I turn up in the classroom, there was only one thing and one thing only was coming to me. But you know, when you have self-control, it is good. I stepped up in the class. And she looked around and she saw me. And I said to her, I come to you. And she stepped. And the devil said to me, just drape her up right there. And I said, I have a good name and I want to carry my good name. I can deal with it other than that because my child was still in the class. And I called my child. I said to her to call her. And I showed her the impression under her eye. And she said, I never know she asleep, but hello. I said to her the child could have died. She could have been a cop sitting in front of you. The child could have been sick. It could be a sick child, have her head down. You don't go over and shake the child, touch the child to see what is happening. The only thing you could do is use a belt over her. And she's there begging. So I went to the principal. I let the principal know I am going to to the Minister of Education, which was Edwin Hallin or whatever her name was at the time, because she's not fit to teach. Because in teaching, you have to be nurse, and you have to actually be doctor. You have to be observant. You have to can listen. You have to can see. So you have to be using all your faculties. You have to be using your eyes, your ears, your discretion. Because this child head is down on the desk. All head rise and hers were still down. And instead of walking over to her, you use a belt. For those that are listening, do you see where I'm going? Do you understand what I am saying? These are my experience. And these are not allegedly. These are my experience. So, God bless if those now that are coming out of college, out of the university, practice this word. But there are children who suffers under the hand of persons who, when they leave college, they throw what how they were trained outside of it and do something else. And if you just go into teaching because of the cash, don't worry. Just like nursing, if you're just going into it because of the cash, don't worry to do it. Here I said, you're having 2 children in the class and they are from 2 different backgrounds. And you have to deal with these children. So, you have to use up the teaching skill. You have to use up the knowledge of teaching. Effective teaching and learning. Because you learn from them too, yeah? Yeah. You teach them, but you learn from them too. So, teachers. When I say teachers, I mean parent teachers too. Because your teaching skill do not come from the outside world. You start it on the inside. And this is how you either make your child or break your child. This is all the teacher who set to lead them either make them or break them. And it's going to be hard to make some of them. But at least try in a positive way, in a constructive way. At the end of the day, you can be pleased with yourself that you have tried. And for parents, set good examples. Lead a proper example for the children that has given to you, that you are steward for. And people say, I don't know where you're going to tell God, so, but you have nothing to tell God, so. Nothing. And I think I have gone over my time. I've seen my thing keep jumping up and jumping on. I don't know why. But anyhow, I don't know what, there's nothing for you to tell God, say. Because you're not going to see him and said, oh, Mr. God, or oh, Brother God, or no, you have nothing to say. What you have to say is to me and to you. Be a good steward over the job that you are got to do. Lead in a right pathway. Even if you cannot lead all of them, at least some will be there and some will take it in. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for joining me. And remember, as I did not put out the phone number, but it had put out numerous times. But anyhow, on Wednesday night, we're hoping to have a call-in program, call-in live rather. Not me alone, I will be joined with company. So for those that subscribe to the channel, could you please join us on the live? Could you please share the live? Could you please be a part of the channel? Let us grow together. Let us learn together. Let us be with each other. I have delivered some of my experience that I have. And tonight, as any other night, I have seen a blogger who is really going through some hard time. I would say hard time. I do not know the fullness of the story, but when you see one down, do not hit them when their lower lights are burning. Pray for them the most you can do. You can't reach, if you can reach out and speak with them, then you do so. But this is not time that you discriminate anyone. This is not time when you really speak down on anyone. They are going through their valley. They are going through, and God is there, and the only thing we can do is really pray. So for those who know the story, I don't know the story, and I will not go into any story I don't know about, because I am not a vlogger. But I can say something. Pray for Andre. Pray him up. God is the author and the finisher of everyone's faith. Hurt have no sorrow that heaven cannot cure. There is no distance in prayer. He's a young man, and whether he was young or old, he needs the strength of people. For me, that always watching. My little baby girl here, I watch him until when she see the rat, the set a rat trap, and she see the little rat, she said, no, it's not a rat, that one, it's a mouse. Is Andre season to that? Yes. So for those, have a heart, have a feelings, knowing that anyone can drop into a state. And if we said we love God who we cannot see and hate on the one we can see, then we do not love God. So you can't say you love God when you never see, and you hate the one that you can see. So extend the mercies of love, your prayer of love for this young man. Extend your prayers of love, your mercies of love for this young man. If you don't mean it, don't pray, because it will go nowhere. It will have no effect. But you are going to do it Do it with the art of love. Do it as if it's your brother. Do it as if it's your child. Do it is as if it's your own flesh and blood. Reach out in prayers. As I said, heaven, hurt have no sorrow that heaven cannot cure. Reach out by faith, and when you took it there, leave it there at the foot of the cross. Do your part, and God will do the rest. Thank you. Be cognizant of your surrounding. You're going out and you're coming in. Be careful of the circles that you're in. Be not the scripture says, do not walk like fools, but as wise. Be not walk as fools, but as wise. There are so many things out there. And in praying for someone, pray for yourself. Pray for your family, please. Because there are so many things are there. The demons that walk this earth are there in rampant behavior. Yeah. So be cognizant of your path. Be cognizant of your going in and your coming out. Walk with God with a purse on the tip of your tongue at all times. And with that said, this is Aquarian tuning out from channel Positivity Positive. Positivity Positive. Have a good night, and we'll meet tomorrow night, maybe earlier than the time I came on. But please join the live. Invite someone. There must be something you heard that you want to listen to again. So, share the live, subscribe, turn on your notification bell that whenever a live is on, you will be first to know. Be merciful, be kind, and be respectful of each other. Thank you very much, and we'll meet again. God bless you. Thanks.